Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. Today, I thought we would make another pretty card using the Pure Joy suite from Pinkfresh Studio. So in this suite, you can purchase the stamp, the dies, the stencils, or the press plate. And I kind of made a decision the other day. Anytime that there is a coordinating press plate, I don't think I need the stamp set because I only used it once and I am getting a lot more use out of the press plates. So today we will not be using that stamp set, but we will be using the press plate, the stencils, and the dies. So I have prepped quite a few items already just to make this go a little quicker, but we are going to be using that die and the press plate. So for the press plate, I hot foiled. I haven't peeled this completely off yet, so we can do the reveal together. I hot foiled using black foil, and I've just got that on my Hammermill cardstock. So I've got that ready. Then we need to bring in our grip mat. So I've got that here, and we can place our image on that grip mat, and I just love the look you get with that black hot foil. That is so pretty. So this is a 5-piece stencil set, and the very first stencil number 1, you can use to cover up those images to create a colored background, but we're not going to use stencil number 1 today just because we are going to be cutting out the images. I am not going to leave them in that frame, in that circle frame. So let's get started with stencil number 2, and it's really easy to line up. I've got grassy knoll and olive, and we're just going to start stenciling. So I've got my grassy knoll, and just like we did in our last video, I'm going to keep it light and then come in with that darker olive. And this stenciling goes pretty quickly. I hope everyone is having a fabulous day. It's actually overcast here today. I wonder if we will get a summer storm later this afternoon. That would be nice. Summer is, oh my goodness, summer is closing in on us. It's, well, not closing in on us, it's escaping from us. We will have cooler days anytime now. And I wanted to do the hummingbirds. We have hummingbirds in our front yard, and I have to say, we have a bully. He is so mean. I have 4 feeders out there, and now I'm switching to Olive, and he just scares everybody away. He is so mean. He sits up in the trees and he watches and he waits for the other hummingbirds to come by, and he chases them off. And I'm kind of like, gosh, there's plenty out there for everybody. You don't have to be so mean. And he's got a red head, kind of a red head and a little bit of a red belly. So that's how we are going to color our hummingbird today. But I wish he was a little bit nicer. And then he'll dive bomb on us if we go out there. If I go out there to get the feeders to clean them and fill them, he'll dive bomb on my head. He's not very nice. He's not very nice at all. I don't know where he came from. All right, so we've got some good highlights in there. Now we can switch to stencil number 3. And that's so pretty. So stencil number 3 is our flower image and our hummingbird's body. And it also is pretty simple to line up. And now we can color with our other inks. So I'm going to do my flowers in Hydrangea and Opulence. I have a sample that I did in pink, but I really, really wanted to try the purples. So we're going to try to go in really, really light-handed with our Hydrangea, which is hard for me because I do color pretty heavy-handed when I ink blend. So I am going to leave it at that. Then we can bring in our opulence, and we're just going to do the same thing, just a little bit of shading at the base of that flower, because this stencil set does have the accents, and I think I want a little bit more hydrangea. There we go. Just on the edge of those flowers. Now we can do our hummingbird. So for my hummingbird, I brought in sage and eucalyptus, but let's wipe that off so we don't get any purple in him. And I'm going to start with my sage and just do the same thing. We're just going to gently get some color on there. I want his belly to be a little bit lighter, and then I will be making his head sort of red, so he looks like my hummingbird outside. So now we can switch over to the eucalyptus and just come in darker from the top, and probably his little face a little bit. I want good shading on him. I want a variety of colors. So then I've got mulberry blush, and I'm just going to accent his head a little bit. But now this mulberry blush is very, very, very dark. So make sure you tap off and get a lot of that color off. And I'm just gently coming in on the top of his head and a little bit on his belly. I just want a little bit of shading there. And I think that's good. That was pretty simple. This is coming together very quickly. And let's see what we got. And that's beautiful already. Oh my goodness. So now we've got the wings and the accent portion of our flowers that lined up pretty easily. And actually we need to bring back in our sage and our eucalyptus for his wings. And we're just going to do that the same way we did it on his body. And then I'll bring in some eucalyptus. And just accent the end of his wings. Just like that. And then I will also put some eucalyptus in the middle here. And then we can bring back in our opulence and work on the flowers. I don't want it to be too dark, but I do want it darker than the opulence we already have on that flower. I've really been into the purples lately. What is your favorite color combination? Leave me a comment. I love reading comments. I do read them all. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And we're doing another pretty card today, floral card, because I noticed that the floral cards seem to do so much better than the cutesy cards, which is fine with me because I love floral images. Just make sure that's pressed down, and we will bring in olive. And we are just going to finish coloring in those leaf images, the stems, and the base of the flowers. So if you notice here, we've also got his beak and then a couple accent pieces on his wings. We will do those with the eucalyptus after we do our florals or our leaves here. And I am going a little heavy-handed on my stems and leaf images here, just because it is our final accent color. There we go. And then we can bring our eucalyptus back in. but I will wipe this off first, and then eucalyptus. I think it was this side. And then for his beak, I will also be using eucalyptus, but I think I am going to add just a little bit of that mulberry blush that is still on my brush and just give it a little different color. And then what I did for his eye here, so you can either bring in some black ink or a Sharpie. I just brought in a Sharpie and I am just going to color his eye in just like that. Quick and simple. Easy as that. Then we can take this off and see what we got. And oh my goodness, that is so pretty. I am so glad I went with the purples. That is just beautiful. So we can peel that off of there. Now we need to die cut. So we will bring in the die for this. And with this die set, you can either use the outline and just cut out the, it lines up. You can either just cut out the image as a circle image, or you can use the die and cut out the images on their own, which is what we are going to do. So we got those images cut out and they just pop right out of this die. And they are so pretty. Just like that. So now, let me get some stuff out of the way here. Now we can put these aside and we need to work on our background a little bit. So we'll just put those right there. So for my background, I wanted to bring in something different. So we will be using the Dotted Petals press plate. And you can use this for pressing or hot foiling, but we are going to press today. So I've already got my Better Press ready with my paper. And what we are going to do is we're just going to place this right in the center on the A2 markings. Just get that nice and centered. But I want it very faint. I don't want a dark impression. I don't want the impression to take away from my images. So we are going to use hydrangea and just get a nice light coat of ink on there. And that, even though we have not put a lot of ink on there, that is darker than what I want. So what I'm going to do from this point is I'm just going to bring in my cleaning rag. I'm just going to put that on there very gently and just kind of take up a little bit of that ink. And you can see it came up on my rag. So I'm hoping when we run this through that it's still not too dark. So we will put our top plate back on there. I think that's the platen. And then this is the chase. I think. I get them confused. So now let's run this through our machine. I'm a little nervous. I really didn't want that too dark. And that's a little bit darker than I wanted. But I think we're going to go for it. So I got that panel trimmed out to 4 by 5 1/4, and I've got some foam tape on there. That's all ready for us. Now we need to work on another element. And I did do this panel on the Crane's Lettra. I did this on cotton paper, and I just love the feel of that. And I'm really hoping that that purple does die down a little bit. It will fade as it soaks into that paper. It's a little darker than I wanted, but we're going to go for it. So here, our next item we are using is the Inside Outside Scalloped Elongated Oval Die from Waffle Flower. And for this, it cuts out really easily, but I cut out 2 from a coordinating purple. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. And I cut 1 on the white cardstock, the hammer mill, but I left it in there because we're going to tape it. I don't want this to come apart, so we are just going to put a couple little pieces of tape on here to hold it in place while we get that out of our die. And sometimes it's really helpful when they stay in the die, because then you can tape the back and get it out all as one piece, which is what I want to do. So I wasn't sure, and you get 3 pieces actually. You get the inside oval, you get the outside oval, and then you get that center ring. So I thought that was pretty neat, but I wanted to give it a little accent, and I'm not sure which oval I want to put on there, the lighter purple or the darker purple. So let's just take a look. Let's get a couple flowers on there and see which color combination we like better, or the lighter purple. So the lighter purple doesn't seem to match our hydrangea ink as well as the darker purple, but I think I like the look of the lighter. So let's do the lighter. And all we are going to do is just glue this on there. I'm just going to put a thin line of glue all the way around here, and then we can attach our ring. I don't know, I'm having second thoughts. Do we do the darker purple? Let's do the darker. Let's just go for it, because it does match that hydrangea perfectly. And that's just paper that I had in my stash. But then the lighter, it also, well, no, it is a little different. Let's go with the darker. So then we can just place this ring right on there, and it fits perfect. And now we've got our accent on that ring. That was so easy. So now we need to add foam tape to the back of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put little pieces. This is the tedious part. I'm just going to put little pieces of foam tape on those little markings. So that was a little tedious and time consuming, but really it only took like a minute. So now I will get all these release papers off. Now with all that release paper off, we can add this to our panel. And I am just going to center that. Let me bring that down a little. Just get that nice and centered, and then you can push that down. And your scallops will hang off a little bit, but that's okay, because we are going to put this on a card base still. So I've got my A2 card base. We're just doing a regular fold there, not top fold. Then we can add this to our card base. Again, we're just centering. We've got lots of dimension. We've got foam tape behind our panel. We've got foam tape behind our frame. And now all we need to do is just place everything. And it's pretty darn simple. I'm just going to put my floral image there. And then I think we'll do another accent piece up here with a leaf. And then for our sentiment, I've got a couple options. I wanted to use a sentiment that was a little bit longer and straighter for the bottom here. So I brought in the favorite things sentiments and coordinating dies, and I'm not sure which one we should use. There is something good in every day, or I love that you are my friend, or your kindness means so much. You know, I think I like there's something good in every day. And I hot foiled my sentiments in the same black foil that I did my outline image in. So let's go ahead, and my flowers are placed just how I want them, so I am going to attach them. I want that little corner to stay down though. And you can fluff up your flowers. You can just kind of give them a little curl on the edges. Same with your leaves there. And then I can see where I need to put my glue. So I've got My floral image is attached. Now we need to figure out where we're going to place our sentiment and get some foam tape behind that. Then we can bring in our last little leaf image, kind of give it a little fluff. And we can attach that right underneath our sentiment, just like that. Now, all we have to do is add embellishments. That was so easy. Oh, no, we didn't add our hummingbird yet. We need to glue him down. I am going to put foam tape behind him, a little foam tape behind our hummingbird there. We can add him right there like that, and he is so cute. He's a mean little booger, but he is so cute. So for our embellishments, I wasn't sure what color was going to go well here. I've got some lilac leaf, and then these are the iridescent gems, and they pick up the color of anything that is around it. They really do. They change colors. And there you go. We are done. That is so cute. I love that. And I really wanted to do a hummingbird while the hummingbirds were still out there. And we're getting a storm. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's a lot of thunder rumbling over me. But I just love that. I also did one in pink. This was the first sample I did. And then I thought, well, you know what? Let's try a purple one also. And for this one, I used Sparkling Rose and Raspberry Bliss. My hummingbird is in the same colors. I think we did this one just a little bit darker. And we can kind of poof up his wings also, just like that. And I think they both came out super cute. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I will see you later. Bye-bye.